So we're in week 73 now, and we've just come to have a nosy upstairs. The dried white paint, the first coat, so bright, and the finish is brilliant. From the sprayer, it's really, really good. Really impressed. So now we're going to do downstairs. See how long it takes. It should take less time in theory than upstairs. We haven't got the high ceiling. So yeah, it took 4 hours to do upstairs, so maybe a few hours to do down. Who knows? Started it up and it was really easy, straightforward to set up again. Just ran the pipe back through, ran the paint back through the pipe to prime it, and then got the paint running through the other pipe as well for the pressure. Yeah, and it's exactly the same as yesterday. So that took all of about 5 minutes. We've nearly done the snug. Yeah, yeah. And we've nearly done the snug, which has taken about sort of 15 minutes, 10 minutes. So Andy's just doing the ceiling. Now, top tip as well, if you're doing any bits like under your bay windows, make sure you change it to the horizontal nozzle, because otherwise it's going to be quite difficult to get to the top bits, and there was quite a lot of excess. So definitely turn it to the horizontal for any bits like that, or this bit here and your ceilings as well. So we've been doing this for about 2 hours now. So we've done this room. Big room. Yeah, and we're just finishing the ceiling. We've also done the snug and the utility. Plus there's been prep checking everything's properly covered up, because the pressure is high when you're spraying. So yeah, it's taken about 2 hours so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, things like the garage, having to try and cover up the doorway to the garage so the overspray into the garage, stuff like that.
Yeah, we've just been saying that the finish, even this just the undercoat, and it's already like really almost like properly finished. Tempted just to leave it. But yeah, that's how we're getting on so far. We are done with the downstairs. Yay. All done. Oh, the hallway's looking pretty epic. And that's been all in for upstairs and downstairs. What, about 110 litres, did we say? So we're going to crack on with colours on the weekend, and it'll be interesting to see how it works with the sprayer for the colours, how much prep we need to do, because we have got multiple colours in different rooms. So yes, we'll see how good it is for that. So we've been having a play around with the some of the colours, and might I add, the paint finish is absolutely brilliant from the paint spray.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's done really well. It's so hard though now with picking a white for the hallway and the landing because it's against this brilliant white. It's really like blindingly white. So we've been looking at these colours. Obviously compared to white, they look quite dark. We've got blackened, Farrow and Ball, Webbit, also Farrow and Ball. These are all Farrow and Ball. Cornforth, you've got Schoolhouse White, Ammonite and James White. So because of how bright it is in here, I've been sort of looking more at the Webbit, which is almost just like a white.
I see that now, I think.
However, because it's such a big space, and obviously we've got the hallway as well, and it gets a lot of light, I think you're edging towards the James White, aren't you?
For the back room, because of the having it with the mustard.
Yeah.
In here, maybe this one in here.
The Ammonite, because it's such a big space, it could take it. And we're having a wood floor as well, and the black metal balustrade. It might definitely not this one. That's not way too dark.
That's like brown.
And the blackened, we were originally thinking about having that one, but
like a light grey,
it's a little bit too grey for my liking. So yeah, it's probably one of these three.
Got to go with potentially this orange.
Yeah, so what we've been thinking for this wall that's the lower ceiling, you've got all this nice roof space, roof light. We were thinking of going with something quite bold just on this wall as a really cool feature. So we were thinking of an orange. Got to watch where I'm
Well,
walking
they
so I
look
don't fall through.
bright
They
on the
look a
camera.
lot brighter on the camera than they do in real life. Yeah, so this one is blood orange. It's a Dulux one. This one is called Cajun Shrimp. Make sure I'm Cajun Shrimp. That one is Valspar Colour Match. This one is Samurai Infusion, and that's another Valspar Colour Match, isn't it?
Yeah.
And this one is Charlotte's Locks, which is a Farron Ball one. And we did a colour match because I didn't have it in. So in terms of the colours, you really don't like that one.
No, it's a
We
bit
were
washed
looking
out.
a little bit more at this one. But we think the depth of colour of this one looks like it might be the winner. I think, having that on just this one wall.
Well, they ran out now, said that looks quite cool. A lot brighter, isn't
Well,
it?
that's sort of a brighter version of that one, really.
That's what we were trying to achieve, isn't it? A real pop of colour.
Yeah,
A bright, standout colour.
I think the Charlotte Lock might tie in more with the other colours in the house because we've got sort of dark, we've got a dark pink and a off black sort of colour in here. And then we've got the darker greens and the satin plaster colour in the bedroom. It's harder when you've actually really got to pick a specific colour.
Paint a bit of that colour. On the
Yeah,
other.
I know. Next to it, just to see.
If we think that's the right colour for here. then
What, the
Ammonite.
ammonite?
Probably paint some of these.
I think the ammonite would probably go with the Charlotte's Locks. Have we got a brush? The great thing about paint is it's paint. If we don't like it when we do it all, it's so hard. I think the hardest thing is because you haven't got it with everything else. You haven't got the flooring down, the stairs aren't finished, you haven't got the balustrade, so it can be quite difficult when you're obviously doing the messy job first. However, that does actually look quite nice next to that colour. Isn't it? Yes, so decisions. We were going to start painting today, but you're going out at 1. You didn't realise you were going out that early, did you?
No.
So we'll hopefully crack on tomorrow. But yeah, we've most of our colours are nailed down. We thought the white would be quite easy to pick. We had narrowed it down. We pretty much picked blackened, but looking at the blackened now on the wall, it's just too grey.
I don't dislike it now it's dry, but
It's hard because it's not the whole room.
yeah.
So you're comparing it against a white, which is quite difficult. But yeah, we'll see how we go. We'll try and decide and pick, hopefully by tomorrow. I mean, we're not in a crazy rush because we've got to wait. The plasterer who's going to do the micro cement, he's going to be coming in about 2 weeks' time.
Yeah.
So we can't do any tile jobs until he's been. So we've basically got a couple of weeks of painting. Well, the weekends and when we've got a day off. But yeah, we'll see how we go. Oh, and yeah, so with the micro cement, we've decided to have it in the guest ensuite, the whole room. I think we've said this before, but we've actually ordered it now. And it's sort of it's like grey micro cement, middle of the road grey. It's not too dark, not too light. But then,
I'll show you what I'm doing.
yeah, and then in Andy's ensuite, he's gonna have
This wall
it on this wall,
and into the shower.
and the shower's over this
And
side.
then that'll be
And you're
exposed
having
brick.
a grey,
Yeah, that'll be exposed brick there.
yeah,
And then my wood there. Around my sink and toilet.
yeah.
And then, yeah.
So that's what you'll be
Grey.
doing. I've really got to take my Costa cups down. I just keep spotting them in different rooms.
They're everywhere. We're at it.
And then in my ensuite, I am having the micro cement on this wall and this wall. I'm having paint on that wall and on the ceiling, the same colour,
Same plastic.
and an off-white tile on the floor, and then terrazzo on this wall where the bath is here. I think the micro cement will look really good next to the black taps that are coming out of the wall where the sinks are. Yes, so something else ordered, something else that someone else is doing, which is going to be weird. But yeah, we're really decisive most of the time, but This is quite difficult, even though we can change it if we want. I think it's because because it's so blindingly white in here. It's so hard to picture another colour in here now. But yeah, we'll see how we go. So we're so sick of going back and forth to B&Q that we decided to get some more paint samples and do them in the car park. So we picked up an all white, Wimborne white and strong white. We already had the ammonite. These ones we'd already done. So we'd since discounted blackened in Cornfoot because we just think they're a bit too dark for the hallway and the landing. Webbit we just think is like, we may as well just go for a white. It's just so, I mean, you can't even see it on this piece of paper. The all white is even lighter than the Webbit, so we think that's going to be too light. So Wimborne white, we think the back room, it's got a hint of yellow in it, and we think if we've incorporated India yellow that will flow nicely with that. And then we think strong white for the hallway and the landing, because it's sort of a nice in between Wimborne and ammonite, we think. Yes. So, well, yeah, it's strong white. It's pretty much in the middle of those two, isn't it, really? And we quite like the ammonite, so yeah, we're going to do strong white. And we've got a vibrant colour, as we've already said, upstairs on the landing, so we don't want to go too crazy with a white. And we've seen some photos of this that look really nice with Crittle, which, because it's quite a crisp white with a hint of grey, so I think that's going to be the way to go. So we're just going to wait for them to dry a little bit more, and then we're going to go back in, literally watch paint dry, and then we're going to go back in B&Q and buy the paint. And what we're going to do, we're going to buy the actual Farron ball, or we're going to
paint match, I think.
Paint match. Yeah. So yes, hopefully today we will get the whites done, and the next lightest colour, which is the calamine, we'll get that done as well today, hopefully. So we've got Wimborne white, Farron ball one, but colour matched with the Valspar premium one for wall and ceilings, and it's the matte one. So I'm going to do that now in this open plan area, but just not the ceiling. Yeah, so it shouldn't take me too long, just need to set up. Done the open plan area now. All in, it probably took about 45 minutes. However, because we'd not sort of anticipated how much paint we would need, needed another trip to B&Q. So we've used, how much have we used? We used 3 tubs, so 15 litres.
Yeah.
To do, how many square metre would you say?
Well, the floor area is about 50.
Yeah.
Except, obviously not that brick wall, so.
Yeah, so the Wimborne white is on the walls, and I'm impressed. Finish is great, as before. The only negative I would say at the moment about the sprayer is when you get down to the last bit, it doesn't work when you get down to the last bit. So we had to make a decision that we literally needed a little bit for the utility ceiling, and literally the last bit in the tub. So because we can't use a sprayer and we don't want to waste anything and buy another sort of £50 tub, we're just going to roll the last little bit of ceiling. But it really does make you appreciate the sprayer, because it really does take time with the roller. But yeah, that would be a negative, I would say, that if you've got it down to pretty much the amount you need, you might find that you do need to do a little bit with the roller so that you've not got waste.
I definitely wouldn't be worth doing a small area with it, because
No.
you'd half the paint you'd probably wasted in the machine, and
Yeah.
so you wouldn't be able to spray like, I wouldn't do like a wall. You'd have to be worthwhile doing like whole house or whole room at least.
Yeah. That's it for another week, and we'll have some Bruno footage as well. Like I say, really happy with the Wimborne white. It's a nice white with a undertone of yellow. That's really nice. Yeah, and like we were saying, when you've got a full room for the paint sprayer, great. But I think if you've got, say, like you've got literally a wall to do, it's probably not going to be enough to put in the sprayer for it to work properly, is it?
Yeah, you need a lot more paint than you actually needed just to get the paint sprayer to work.
Yeah. So that's something to bear in mind. But in our case, we'll be using enough paint in all the rooms for it to work fine. But yeah, just bear that in mind.
Yeah, what was that? 30 litres?
Yeah. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll be on to colours next weekend. I'm really excited about that.